Well, when we first started having conversations about a national convening, police brutality, Ferguson was a big part of the news and the story, the narrative that we saw in the media. And also St. Louis felt central, right? It felt like a place that people from the West and the East and the South could get to. And also coming here, not realizing it as we planned it. For me, seeing how many artists have come from this place, folks who I've been influenced by, who've influenced my work, who have influenced my sense of being an artist with the community practice, people like Ntozake Shange or Maya Angelou. I feel like there was really no other place for the first culture shift. And we also have friends here. We have a cultural agent, Roseanne Weiss, who was part of my first cohort of cultural agents. And this was just something she wanted to give back to the USDAC. And I think that's why we're all here, is that it's given a lot to us. It's affirmed a lot of the work that we're doing in our communities. And it's an opportunity to come together and give back to not just the city, but to be able to seed some gifts in all of these other places that people are drawn from.
It's very significant for culture shift to be happening in St. Louis at this moment. One, because it's culture shift, and it happening anywhere is significant because it empowers the people and it empowers the folks that represent the organizations that are already serving the people in their communities. And for it to happen in a place like St. Louis, Missouri, where there's such a close and fresh experience with the oppression and repression of culture, it couldn't come at a more appropriate time and space. And to have it hosted at the Regional Arts Commission, which has been supporting the arts in St. Louis for so long and so proudly, it just completely makes sense, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Frankly, one of the big attractions to coming to Culture Shift was because it is happening in St. Louis. My father-in-law's family is from St. Louis. I had never been here. It's a place that obviously has a recent history and then a longer history that are both significant. I mean, really should be significant to anyone in the country or the world, but was definitely significant to me personally, both because of the family connection and because of recent events. And I can't explain it. I really wanted to experience this city.
We are at a time in history where I believe that people are beginning again to understand the shamanic aspect of the arts. They're beginning to believe in the invocation of spells and the magician trick of poetry. And with that magic, with the potency of those spells and the ways that these things can be used to ward off evil or treat spiritual illnesses as they've always been viewed, learning that and mastering it and having that in this time, when the spiritual ills are arguably stronger than they've ever been, or we're at a whole nother epic when it comes to untruth and injustice. So I feel St. Louis is the heart. It's the heart of the nation. It's the center. Everything that happens here ripples outward. Having a culture shift in the center of the heart of the United States, if your heart goes bad, that goes through your whole body, right? That's what I think. We're doing something that's going to ripple out to the rest of the limbs.
I think that for me, the significance of culture shift happening in St. Louis really speaks to the unrecognized potential of the Midwest as a site of transformation and arts leadership in the United States. There's been a lot of emphasis on the coast, the East Coast and the West Coast, and a lot of, sort of trash talk about the Midwest as a flyover state. What can I say? I'm from Detroit, I'm coming here from Minneapolis, and I've been to Milwaukee, I've been to Chicago, I've been through various Midwestern places. They are not flyover places. And I think that the arrogance of people on the left and the right, just in terms of urban coastal people, that arrogance of believing that nothing is happening in these places is part of what produced the situation that we're all in right now. So I was really thankful to be able to come to St. Louis, especially because of the work around Mike Brown, the work with Ferguson. I'd been to St. Louis before, and I know that St. Louis is a place with a lot of heart, a lot of action, but also that there is a little bit of sort of a feeling of lack of recognition or maybe being overshadowed by Chicago or other places. And being from Detroit, I certainly recognize what that is. So I just think for me, that felt aligned with where I'm searching for new answers, new possibilities, new networks. And so the fact that it was in St. Louis actually made it appealing to me, because I thought, okay, this is about being in a place that has a history that's under-recognized, and about sort of big-upping that history, and that made me want to come even more.
Yes, I think it's really important that it's in St. Louis. I think it's really important this conference is in St. Louis, period, because a lot of conferences and big art events are in the East Coast, West Coast, and the general idea that artists can also thrive and work with their community in the Midwest is extremely crucial for our growth. Especially, I would say, regarding my community, it's important that it's happening now, because after Trump was elected for president, there has been a lot of talk, negative talk, a lot of fear, a lot of anger, and not a space to create. Not another form to release all of this besides talking and feeling internally. So after this, I feel like I have more tools to take back and to be able to share, give a space for others to express themselves.